Hey guys, CG Inferno here today. Today's a bit of a different video. So, as you can tell by the title, yeah, I was invited to an event this week to try a few games from NIS America. So I want to say a big thank you to them and Reef as well, who's working with them as well. I've been working with them for quite some time now, a couple of years now. But yeah, the games that were available to play were Eternights Overlord, which was a new game that's just been announced. That's coming out next year, supposedly early next year. But Trails Beyond the Horizon, which we all know and love from if you'd watched my channel, that's coming out next year, January. We also had East 10 Proud Nordics to play, STARBITES to play, which is a new game as well. Gear 7 Complete Edition, which already's come out like a month or so ago. And finally, we also got the chance to play R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos. Now, for the games that I played Eternights Overlord, Trails Beyond the Horizon, STARBITES, and East 10. Gear 7 I've already played, and R-Type Tactics, probably not the biggest fan of that type of game, but you know, it's there for people that enjoy it and stuff. So yeah, the systems that we got to play on, or what they're available on. So Eternights Overlord was on PS5, Trails Beyond the Horizon, that was on PS5 and the Nintendo Switch 2. East 10 was on Switch 2 and STARBITES was on PS5. Now, to get the two games that I've more or less already played, or yeah, I guess you could say I already played, that would be Trails and East 10. So Trails, we all know, if you've been watching my channel, I played it last year when it came out in Japan. Oh my God, I think it's like over a year now since it's come out. And obviously this is like the first time I get to see it on the Nintendo Switch 2, mainly because I know this game wasn't announced for Nintendo Switch 2 initially, but here it is now. I did play on the Switch 2 and PS5. Switch 2 actually ran very well, you know, it ran at the 60 FPS. Now in terms of the resolution, I'm not too sure what it was, but definitely didn't look 4K, that's for sure. It looked a bit blurry in certain areas. Now, personally, I forgot to actually check to see like what the resolution was on the monitor, but I would assume it was 4K because like everything else looks sharp, like in terms of the Nintendo Switch 2 menu and stuff. But the game itself, not too much. But to be honest, it's better playing on that than the original Switch, because we all know on the original Switch how Trails games run on that. I mean, it's playable, don't get me wrong, but it's painful. It's painful to say the least. But in this demo, I think in packs they showed off the initial prologue, and then in this one they allowed us to play through Act 1 through Van's side. So yeah, we got to play a decent amount. Now obviously they limited in like what I can show and stuff, or like where I could play. Like obviously I was trying to be a bit cheeky here and there, and I was like, yeah, look, can I play like the beginning or something? Could I record it? And they're like, you know, we already showed it at PAX, you know, we want you to play Act 1 and stuff. And I was like, oh, fair enough, I'm not gonna push my luck with them, right? But to be honest, the team there, they're like very nice, very nice. But yeah, yeah, we got to play a bit of Act 1, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then when it came to East 10 Proud Nordics, the section that they got us to play was one new section. So this is like one of the new areas that's in the game that you get to explore and stuff, and this is where you get like one of the new mana abilities as well. So we got to do that segment pretty quickly. It was pretty short, not too long. I think it'll talk about, for me at least, like 15 minutes. So bearing in mind, I haven't played East 10 since I finished it originally, so I was super rusty. But you know, once I got into the flow of things, you know, everything just like seamlessly went well for me. But overall, playing on the Switch 2 looks really good, felt very good. I have no complaints on that. Obviously recently it's been announced that it's coming to PS5 as well, which, to be honest, I don't know why it wasn't announced in the first place, like when they initially announced this. But that one day you're just gonna have to ask Falcom. They just be making some questionable decisions sometimes. I won't go into too much into detail into that one, but yeah, we all know what they're on about these days. Now for the two new games, or I guess technically one new game and one game that's not out in the West, right? Which are Eternights Overlord, which is completely new, and then you also have STARBITES as well. So Eternights Overlord, I was pleasantly surprised from what I played. You know, I had like no expectations when going into this. I just saw it got announced. I was like, okay, cool. And then I didn't look at no gameplay or trailer or whatever. And then they said they have it there. I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And it's quite fun for the most part. Like, it's very simple, but at the same time, like good simple. You know, like you can literally just pick up anytime, play it, continue it, play through the story, and you enjoy it. So what it reminds me of is a game that I played a few months ago called The Great Villainous Strategy of Lily, mainly because of how the main character is. So in this one, you play as a lady who's essentially been killed off for apparently like trying to cause treason or something in the kingdom, and then she's sent into hell. Now she thought she's dead, but she's not. She's still alive in hell, and essentially all she wants is just like a peaceful life with her sweets and her tea and all of that stuff. Pretty simple so far. I'm assuming the story is gonna like pick up later on down the line, but over the time you get new companions and stuff as well, and then you just go like on an adventure. Now I only got to play about say like 40 to 50 minutes of it, or probably like even a bit more on that, right? And yeah, it's actually pretty good. Now in terms of gameplay, it's quite simple, as I said earlier. Like literally you just have your 4 characters. Obviously you have an attacker, you have a healer, support, tactician, berserker, like, you know, the typical classes that you have when it comes to like these types of games, right? So obviously you can make your team full of attackers or like full of support if you want to go that route as well. Probably don't want to do that anyway, but yeah, you just go through like certain levels and stuff. You beat up the enemies, they give you like conditions to do as well. So if you're trying to go for 100%, sometimes when you select the mission it won't show, but once you do the mission and you see it and you say, for example, you failed, you can just go straight into that mission again and do it again. So for example, one of the missions was like not to get hit by one of the traps, right? Or the traps that are moving. So, you know, there's subtle stuff here and there. I actually enjoyed it and I actually cannot wait for the game. Like I was pleasantly surprised by that. Now for STARBITES, that is a game that's come out recently in Japan itself, and it's coming out in the West next year, supposedly early next year. Like a lot of these games are coming out early, so expect to see them probably like January, February, March, even April. I guess yeah, April's still kind of early in like the next year, but regardless, STARBITES was another game that I was interested in playing as well. This one is definitely turn-based compared to Eternights Overlord. Eternights Overlord is basically like action RPG, more or less, a very simplified version. But this one, essentially, how do I even describe this? It's like cyberpunk-esque to an extent. Obviously the way you go about these levels and stuff, it's not like super like open world to an extent. Like you're kind of limited on where you go, so you have to go to like different rooms and stuff. It's like not the whole map is just like completely there for you to explore. But you know, I didn't mind that too much, but I guess I'm not the biggest fans of that. But in terms of gameplay, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It definitely has quite a bit of depth to it as well. Like nothing too crazy, but you know, once you understand it, you can easily like nuke half the bosses, right? So you essentially have 3 players that you can have on the team, and you know, they have a variety of abilities. They have their health, their skill points, and then they have like their little overcharge ability as well that you'd see like on the top right screen, that like charges over time from like the battle and hitting enemies as well. So your typical JRPG standard stuff for the most part. But yeah, in terms of like how I enjoy like the battles and stuff, I found it good. You know, it definitely felt, I don't want to keep saying, you know, it's like Persona per se, right? But definitely had its moments there, here and there. But obviously enemies, they have their weaknesses, and then you exploit those weaknesses to like, you know, gain an advantage or something. So for example, one of the team members that you have, essentially she has a move, not even like a move, but I think it's a passive ability, right? So there's a chance, say for example, if you shoot at the enemy and they're weak to that particular type, and you kill them, there's a chance you can do like an extra attack to like a random enemy, which helps quite a bit in the game. But you know, that game, we only got about, say like 15-20 minutes tops playing it. I kind of wish they allowed us to play from the beginning so I can like get an understanding of like everything to an extent, but I know they're running on a schedule as well, right? So you know, beggars can't be choosers. Hopefully there's like an actual demo that comes out for a lot of these. I think Trails is probably like a given for the most part. Like there's always been a demo to an extent at this rate since what, Cold Steel 3? That's a very long time, right? East 10, maybe. I don't know if it'll be before or after STARBITES. Hopefully before, and same with Eternight's Overlord. Mainly just because I want, you know, everyone else to like have a chance with these games. But yeah, I am not gonna ramble too much about this. I'll probably do like individual videos for these games, like once I've had more time or more hands-on with them, just to like give like a better overview and all of that stuff with it. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Honestly, I would say thank you again to Reef NIS America, or NIS as they say it. So I'll just keep calling them NIS because it's been like that for like how many years now. But I want to say thank you for them for inviting me again. Appreciate me and the staff there as well. They're very friendly, very kind, very accommodating as well. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this short, I say short, semi-short video of me just having my experience playing some of these games and stuff, and like my experience at the event. And yeah, let me know what you guys think down below, or if you want like a bit more details on some of the games. I will be uploading video footage for these games. Unfortunately, my video footage that I recorded had like either a bunch of audio issues or had no audio recordings or no audio at all when, you know, putting it into my PC. I think it's just because the capture card that I'm using. I know I had issues before with it, so you know, next time I do go, I'm just gonna bring my own one just to like be on the safe side. But yeah, enough of me rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.